Right now, we have a huge update. Johnny Somali has changed his plea. So he has now pled guilty on all 4 obstruction charges.
How was Johnny's lawyer?
Flustered, definitely out of his depth.
He changed his not guilty to guilty. He's pled guilty to everything. Guilty to the Minor Crimes Act.
Breaking news just in. Johnny Somali has officially pleaded guilty and now faces up to 5 years in prison, along with a fine of roughly $10,000, about $37,000, and the possibility of 30 days detention. The court has been busy, with the judge rejecting requests from Johnny and his lawyer, fully disclosing the details of the obstruction of business charges and hearing witness testimony. Adding to the drama, it was revealed in court that Hank Yu, who still claims to be a student,
Still a quote-unquote student, and that he still actually lives at Hank's house. So that's interesting because Hank is going on to say, oh, Johnny does not live with me. I do not help Johnny anymore. I'm not associated with him anymore. Apparently that's not true.
Even more intriguing, Johnny appeared in court alongside Hank Yu, sporting a new look, further confirming what I've been telling you all along. This was part of their plan from the start. And there's still more information you haven't heard yet, which we'll dive into as this story unfolds. Johnny Somali's lawyer ended up getting completely destroyed by both the prosecution and the judge. Here you can hear it directly from LegalMindSet.
Johnny is wearing a black blazer with a white button-up, no tie. The judge is back from recess. Johnny also has changed his hair. He now has a buzz cut. So now Johnny has a buzz cut instead of his normal cut.
Which cut Johnny has in his hair always looks like trash. I told you that this time it wouldn't look good either. And yes, it still looks like trash. Until now, Johnny Somali's face hasn't been revealed, but it will surely be revealed. And as I said, he's going to look just disgusting. The lawyer they hired was also very weak. You can hear that the lawyer was just giving completely illogical reasons for the delay.
They just asked for the lawyer's evidence in the cases for which he pleads not guilty. The judge wants to know what he denies specifically about the deepfake allegations. So remember, last time the judge asked Johnny's lawyer, Ramsey's lawyer, what proof do you have you're not guilty? And the lawyer literally said, we have nothing. We have no proof that he's not guilty. The lawyer is completely now today, after the judge asked him, what specific proof do you have? The lawyer is completely flustered. Ramsey's lawyer is flustered in court. He says he already submitted the evidence to the court and he's unable to articulate it now.
It makes you wonder what kind of legal counsel Johnny hired, someone seemingly unready to fight his case. Even when challenged to counter the prosecution's claims, the lawyer simply dismissed them without offering anything substantial. The truth is, everyone knows Johnny has nothing to prove his innocence, yet he continues to play the victim. At this point, no defense could realistically save him. Even creator Atozy was in the courtroom, later revealing that Hank Yuja's family had actually pressured the lawyer into defending Johnny, a claim you can hear straight from Atozy himself. Johnny Somali's lawyer even requested the court for more time in the proceedings, which normally lasts 15 minutes by default. They wanted to try to talk with Bong Bong, maybe meet with her, but Bong Bong actually was not in the court.
The lawyer requested more time than usual.
Okay.
To examine them.
So
why?
What's a normal time to examine someone, you think?
Set it, and for this they set 15 minutes for the defense for the lawyer to interview they set 15 minutes, and since he couldn't block it, he wanted more time with the witnesses, which means if they can't block the witnesses, they really want to grill them. So he might be planning on going all in on Bong Bong.
Can you just imagine how shameless Johnny Somali and his lawyer are? They actually knew they had nothing to defend, which is why they literally tried to go after the witnesses. Leaked messages from Johnny Somali's own Discord server have surfaced, showing him trash-talking Bong Bong and even attempting to interfere with witnesses, a tactic that's clearly stopped working in his favor.
How was Johnny's lawyer?
Flustered, definitely out of his depth. I kind of feel bad for him.
Yeah.
I know he was pressured by Hank's family to be a part of this case, and I think he's trying to do his best to balance between Johnny and...
Yet, despite the mounting evidence and intense pressure from both the judge and prosecutors, Johnny stubbornly refused to plead guilty, offering up excuses so illogical they only made his position look worse.
Okay, so would you consider them to be pretty aggressive on this case, or How would you rate it?
Yes, I would say today they were aggressive on it. And the paradox is, how can you simultaneously admit to having distributed, which is the crime that it's accused of, and insist on this not guilty plea? That's insane. That's just, it's thinking, the more I think about it, the crazier it is. But that's what we just witnessed.
Wow.
Is this lawyer using Johnny's argument? Saying basically, I didn't make it, so I'm, even though again, I think.
And also like the whole charge is for the distribution. So they're like, oh, we didn't make it. I did distribute it though, but I was drunk.
But finally, Johnny Somali was not able to maintain his argument and plead guilty to the obstruction of business charges, which he had previously refused. Right now, Johnny Somali is facing 6 criminal charges, and he is pleading guilty to most of them. Even now, Johnny Somali refuses to admit guilt in the deepfake charges, though he has confessed to distributing the material, which in itself is still a criminal offense. On the current charges alone, he's looking at a guaranteed 5-year prison sentence and a fine. But if the deepfake allegations also result in a conviction, that potential sentence could climb to as much as 12 years. In a major update from LegalMindSet covering the August 13th hearing.
Right now, we have a huge update. Johnny Somali has changed his plea on the obstruction charge for Lotte World. He previously had pled not guilty. He is now changing his plea from not guilty to guilty. So he has now pled guilty on all 4 obstruction charges. So he has now changed his not guilty plea. This is now a guilty. Since he changed his plea to guilty, the witness was dismissed. So the witness for today that was supposed to testify was dismissed. It was not bong bong. It forced him to plead guilty. Plot twist. He also changed his pleas to all guilty. So this is now the current chart for his crimes. He has now pled guilty to all 4 obstruction charges. He changed his not guilty to guilty. He's pled guilty to everything. Guilty to the Minor Crimes Act. The only thing he's fighting is a deepfake. The only thing he's fighting is deepfake.
So, as you heard from LegalMindSet, Johnny Somali did not plead guilty to the deepfake charges. He is claiming that he didn't commit the deepfake crime and even didn't know how to create deepfakes. But the evidence says otherwise. Here's another update. Evidence for the obstruction of business charges just got leaked, which adds to the crimes Johnny Somali is facing. He is now facing 8 criminal charges. You can see a small portion of the evidence here.
It's my ringtone. It's my ringtone. I don't know what it is. France. You speak French? I don't know what's going on. Bro, we gotta go.
어나너머스 센트3 달러즈, 이 버스에 내 소말리아 성기를 원하는 귀여운 한국 여성이 있나요? 저는 HIV 양성이지만 콘돔을 착용해도 괜찮습니다. 한국 남자들은 성기가 작습니다. 나는 거대한 성기를 가지고 있습니다. 한국 남자들은 성기가 작습니다. 나는 거대한 성기를 가지고 있다. 한국 남자들은 작은 성기를 가지고 있다. 나는 거대한 성기를 가지고 있다. 한국 남자들은
It all started when Johnny Somali caused chaos on a bus, persistently disturbing passengers, despite repeated warnings from the public to stop. That incident has now landed him with 4 obstruction of business charges to which he has officially pled guilty. As it stands, he's facing a guaranteed 5-year prison term. But if the deepfake allegations, which he still denies, are proven in court, his sentence could rise to as much as 12 years. Because he hasn't admitted guilt on those charges, the court will take more time to establish the evidence, with the next trial set for October, and sentencing likely to happen around that period. The question now is whether Johnny can mount any real defense against the deepfake accusations, or if he's inevitably heading toward the full 12-year sentence.